It is 6 p.m. on Wednesday, November 28th. We'd like to welcome and thank everybody for being here in attendance. With that being said, we'll be calling our meeting to order. We'll move on to roll call and declaration of quorum.
Espio Ochoa present.
Alex Cantu present.
Oscar Salinas here.
Mary Hernandez present.
And Armin Garza present, I do declare a quorum. If everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
This evening, we have Arinei Gonzalez. She's a fifth grade student at Sam Houston Elementary. She's an A honor roll student. She participates in UIL math and science. Her hobby is dancing folklorico, and when she grows up, she wants to be an allergist. Welcome, Arinei, and please lead us for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, and thank you so much, man.
Thank you for representing your campus. Is your mom, or if you could please stand, and her principal, would you please, Grandma?
Moving on to item number 4, approval of minutes, a special call meeting on November 2nd, 2018.
Also move for
Second.
the 2nd November.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas and a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Moving on to item number 5, our superintendent's report.
On item number 5, under superintendent's report, we have the enrollment report, and that enrollment report is found on page 8 and 9. We have a total of 13,497 elementary students and 14,615 secondary students, for a total of 28,112 students. Any questions on the enrollment report? Also, under the superintendent's report, we thought it would be an excellent idea to recognize our schools that worked really, really hard and obtained a B. And so I'm going to ask Ms. Ochoa and Mrs. Hernandez to please step forward and help us recognize these principals. The following schools received an overall B, letter grade, The schools were rated in 3 domains: student achievement, school progress, and closing the gaps. This rating demonstrates a high-quality instructional program and exceptional learning opportunities for students. We are proud of the staff at each of these schools, and we congratulate them for their achievement. Lorenzo de Zavala Middle School, with Dr. Antonio Ureste as principal. Cesar Chavez Middle School, with Mr. Rolando Rios as principal. Memorial Middle School, with Ms. Belen Martinez as principal, and Richards Middle School, with Thomas Ocaña as principal, and I know he couldn't be with us this evening, so we have his assistant principal here. Irene Garcia Middle School, with Mr. Santana Galvan as principal. J.D. Salinas Middle School, with Nidia Ortiz as principal. If we'll do a picture with our middle schools, and then we'll do a picture with our elementary schools. So Ms. Ochoa and Ms. Hernandez, if you could. Congratulations to these middle schools and their staffs. We're proud of you guys. Keep up the great work. Thank you very, very much. Elementaries that earned a B, Leo J. Leo Elementary, Maria Jasinski as principal. Kika de la Garza Elementary, Irene Fernandez as principal. E.B. Reina Elementary, Lucy Lara Garza as principal. Diaz Villarreal Elementary, Yolanda Salazar Meave as principal. Narciso Cavazos Elementary, Marisa Garza as principal. Tabasco Elementary, Marina Contreras as principal. Patricio Perez Elementary, Myra T. Ramos as principal. Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary, Diana Bel Villarreal as principal. Sam Fordyce Elementary, Roxanne Peña as principal. Emiliano Zapata Elementary, Rosa Gonzalez Vela as principal. Corina Peña Elementary, Raúl Luna as principal. Dr. Palmira Mendiola Elementary, Alicia Gutierrez as principal. Congratulations to these elementary principals. I know there's teachers in the audience, so teachers, if you're elementary or secondary, please stand because you're the ones that help make it happen. So. Congratulations again, and thank you, Mrs. Hernandez and Ms. Ochoa, for helping us recognize these outstanding instructional leaders.
On behalf of the school board, we'd like to extend our gratitude and thanks to all of the principals here today and their staff, along with their administrative teams. We understand that it's a huge undertaking, what you all are tasked with every year in order to get our students to meet their standards, and we're very grateful for all the hard work that you all put into our district. For that, on behalf of the school board, we say thank you. We'll be moving on to item number 6, discussion items. Discussion of e-books on school buses using QR codes.
For this discussion, we're going to have Mrs. Alma Salinas, Library Services and Instructional Resources Director, to lead us in this discussion.
Good afternoon, Dr. Benavides, Mr. Garza, School Board President, other school board members, and audience present today. I'm here to present to you one of our department's initiatives to procure equitable access to a digital library using our school buses. As a librarian, it is my responsibility to facilitate and ensure that all students have all required resources to be academically successful and have access to a diversity of books from all subject areas, including but not limited to hard book collections, ebooks, and tools to use digital resources on a 24/7 availability. In short, my job is to ensure that books are everywhere and in every format possible. On my first year, little libraries were installed in our community parks and doctor's offices. We continued with a parent book club, La Llave del Éxito, at the district level, and we started Battle of the Books at the elementary level. At the end of the year, we had the Oscars Awards presented to 1st to 12th grade students for their outstanding student commitment to academic reading success. A library of read aloud recordings by the superintendent and executive directors programmed by Channel 17 played during the summer days to promote early literacy. The community and daycares were invited to view at their discretion. Our summer school program libraries were open to the community to prevent the summer reading slide. On my second year, we started our fall and spring literacy tertulias to impact our Tier 3 campuses by providing books that would promote and support the culture of reading at home. We used the Molina Foundation grant and gave away 45,000 books that year to our students at the libraries and the tertulias. Last year, our students began their first day of school with our libraries hosting the 2017 solar eclipse. It was the celestial event of the century, bringing the opportunity to our students and community to a memorable experience. We were awarded the NASA at the Library Program grant. This academic year, it has been my personal goal to impact our community of learners with active curiosity, elevating their potential learning, and embracing lifelong learning by providing and/or bringing to every moment of their learning day equitable access. Last May, in collaboration with our grant writer, Ms. Mary Leal, we submitted the Spring 1 Million grant to help with the homework gap at the high school. This year, more than 300 tablets with Wi-Fi access have been provided to students at the Palmview and Thelma Salinas STEM campuses libraries. To continue and enhance learning throughout the day, we collaborated with our transportation department, taking advantage of our students commuting every day. Now students from middle school and high school walk in a library on wheels, where they have a choice from an array of ebooks that can be downloaded using a QR code to their own or school-assigned electronic device and enjoy reading at their leisure time. The collaboration targets high school, and this collection targets high school and middle school students and includes a diversity of science, history, biography, military, and STEM book titles that our young adults will be interested to read. I provided a sample so that you can see the kind of titles that we have pasted on the school buses. This year's goal has been to have 100 library on wheels. We are currently at 70. We have been contacted from several school districts that are local, regional, even statewide. We had Orange, Texas, call us about our initiative, and of course our objective. Constant collaboration has been a key to all our department initiatives. This initiative has a collaboration effort from Dr. Amalia Ramon, Mr. Roel Hernandez, and Mr. Rigor Lopez. I publicly want to thank them for their support with this ongoing project. I also want to extend my gratitude to our superintendent of schools, Dr. Benavides, our executive directors, and of course, our school board members for supporting our innovative ideas that impact our students, our schools, and our community of lifelong learners. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Salinas, we'd like to thank you for providing another wonderful measure and example of La Jolla being a district of innovation. We thank you and your staff, and we thank you for the opportunities that you're providing our students.
Thank you for your time. Excuse me.
I would like to thank the library, actually all the librarians. I think it's team librarians. I know because I live with my wife, and I'm always hearing the initiative here and the initiative there. And I think that we have some of the principles here. I think that reading is so important because when kids read, they'll learn the vocabulary, how to write, and so many things. And when you read a book, you go beyond and you travel with the book. I was just saying that would be, I wish we could have some at the cafeterias and all that. But then
That is
again,
our next project.
That's more work. But thank you to all of you that promote reading, to our principals that allow it. And if we can promote more reading, I mean, we're here to. I know that you had some events, or actually some of the showings on Channel 17 where some of our administrators were reading to our kids and stuff. That was so exciting. So thank you for all that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to our next item number 2 under discussion items. Discussion of school plans to improve overall letter grade and distinctions, designations in the Texas Education Agency 2019 ratings and distinctions.
We have asked our 3 comprehensive high school principals to make a presentation this evening to tell us how they're going to move their campus from one distinction or one level to the next, and also obtain additional distinctions. So the first principal to present his plan is Mr. Antonio Cano, principal at La Jolla High School.
Good evening, school board members, Mr. Garza, school board president, Dr. Benavides, members of the audience. I'm Mr. Cano. I'm the principal at La Jolla High School, and I'm here to present my plan of action to improve the letter grade and distinction designations for this current school year, so that next year I can be standing right here receiving a plaque as well. Okay, first of all, going back to our last year's performance, 2017, 2018, we did meet standard as a school. Our letter grade was a C. We had a 79. we were close to the B, but nevertheless, it's a C. We did meet the distinctions in 2 areas, in mathematics and closing the gaps. I know that Dr. Benavides issued our challenge last year that she wanted us to get a distinction in math. So I want to tell her mission accomplished for that one. In working with our goals for this coming year, I did meet with Ms. Flores, and we did come up with a SMART goal because I think the SMART goals are very important. And all of us want to get the A. You know, I know these principals that are here, the middle school principals that received an a B and so forth, they want an A, just like all of us want an A. Is it an attainable goal? Of course it is. It takes hard work. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes the right resources and the right focus and direction to achieve the A. Is it a realistic goal? Yes, it is, but it takes time. So my presentation right now, I do want to be at an A at the end of the year, but realistically speaking, I would like to be at a solid B, go from a 79 to maybe an 84, 85, get a solid B for the 2018-2019 school year, and then get the A next year, going from an 85 hopefully to the 90 to get the A. I'm not saying that we're gonna shoot for the B, but I'm being realistic. We all want the A, but it's gonna come in chunks, but we are gonna work hard. I can guarantee it at La Jolla High School to do this. As well as for my distinctions, I would like to maintain, of course, the 2 that we received and achieve additional ones. I know that we were very close to achieving at least 2 additional ones for La Jolla High School, so we're working hard with our students, with our teachers to make sure that we maintain the 2 that we received and, of course, earn some additional ones. An area of focus at my campus is, of course, STAR. You know, we live and we die by STAR, unfortunately. But we need to increase the number of students that are receiving meets and masters. I know last year we did increase a lot in our masters in the math, in our Algebra 1 and the course test. That led to the distinction that we received. So far, from the benchmarks that we gave in October, we already saw a very high percentage of students achieving the master's level for biology and for Algebra 1. So we're really banking on these students to continue their focus, their instruction, their drive to get the master's level that they need and, of course, meet. In order for us to make sure that we maximize the number of master's students that we get, we need to make sure that our master's schedule offers multiple sections in pre-AP and AP courses within the 4 core areas. Once we have the master's schedule, we then start assigning the teachers appropriately by the sections, by the teachers that have been trained appropriately in the pre-AP and AP sections, teachers that are gonna bring out the very, very best of our students, because we have top-notch students at our campus. They need to be, make sure that they are worked hard. And I tell the teachers, it's like a sponge. You have to wring out every drop of water out of these students, because if they settle for mediocre, they're gonna get that. They need to really settle for the best. And the expectations are always set by our teachers that the students, whether they're classified GT or not, they're in pre-AP classes and they treat them like GT students, and students always end up achieving the level of expectations that we have for them. So we want to increase the monitoring of our daily walkthroughs to ensure that the curriculum is being taught. The structure for our power hour intervention for this year has been updated. We identify students with a 10th period class. What this is we have assigned students with a 10th period intervention class due to the fact that it did not fit on their schedule. We don't have enough sections of intervention class, for example, in ELA, to offer every student that needs one an intervention class. So we had to assign students a 10th period class on their schedule. So what happens is during power hour lunchtime and also after school, our teachers, our core area teachers have already met individually, one-on-one with these students, and have told them, even though you don't have an intervention class, you are to come on Tuesdays and Thursdays to power hour to my class, and I will provide you assistance, I will provide you instruction in preparing them for EOC, because we don't have excuses, we don't accept excuses. Every student has to be making sure that they're being monitored, that they're being worked with, and so forth. Also, we are continuing to tier our tier 3 students. We did this last year in math for the first time, and I really say it worked. It led to the distinction as well. But we tier our students by the specific skills that they're deficient in. So every teacher takes a group of students in our math. And one thing that I want to say from my math department is that they work very well as a team. You know, it's not a competition. It's not that I got more masters than you. They know that at the end of the day, it's La Jolla High School. What TA looks at is La Jolla High School. It doesn't look at Miss So-and-so and Miss So-and-so. So these teachers, special education teachers, along with the strategies that they get from working with special ed students, they work with our tier 3 students to bring them up to level to the standard of all students. For our CCMR goals, I am increasing our AP offerings for this year. New this school year, we're offering 2 new AP courses. We're offering art, drawing AP, and music theory AP. Currently, we have about 45 students enrolled in these courses. It may look like a low number, but it was something that I decided to do at the very last minute in the summer. We sent teachers at the last minute to get trained. So it wasn't something that was advertised, but we were able to still get in 45 students that are in these courses. We expect a larger number for next year once our counselors go through the pre-registration process and so forth. In addition, students who were scheduled in a Spanish 2 bilingual class were challenged to enroll in an AP Spanish language, increasing our participation by over 100 students. What I did, the Spanish 2 bilingual students or the sections or those courses, we converted them to AP language. You know, we didn't meet with the students, we didn't meet with the parents. I made the decision to switch them to AP because we needed to challenge our students. The teachers believe that these students could handle the workload. They've been successful. They haven't dropped, so we moved them into AP Spanish language, so therefore we increase our numbers also by 100%. 100 students. We will continue to enroll as many students in our AP courses and ensure that they test at the end of the year. Last year, our participation rate for testing as per the students that were enrolled in an AP course was 93%, with a total number of 864 tests that were given. We were very proud that La Jolla High School also had 12 AP scholars. An AP scholar is a student that gets a 3 or above in 3 or more AP tests. And we had 12 AP scholars for La Jolla High School. It's something that I don't think has ever been done to that amount. I know that Mission put an article some months back that they had 11 or 15 or so, but we had 12. So it's something we're very proud of. And our goal is, of course, to increase our number of AP scholars. During next week's STAR testing, students who are enrolled in Algebra 2 and or ELA that are not going to be STAR testing, they will be taking the TSI test if they have been successful in their pre-test. And the school will provide the units for these tests. I don't expect students to pay for their TSI. If they're ready, if the teacher has certified them that they've done well on their pre-test and they're ready to go, they're going to be taking the TSI next week while everyone else is taking their STAR test. And we're going to continue challenging our CTE staff to increase the number of state industry certifications for our students. We did get, thank you to our board and to our superintendent, Dr. Trevino, for the additional FTE in welding. We have a lot more students taking welding than we had before, so this in turn is going to lead us with higher number of certification. And my last goal that I want to improve on is our graduation rate. Right now, we have a graduation specialist who's been following up and conferencing with our current 12th grade students that are assigned to Cal Lab. Cal Lab is, of course, a credit recovery lab. And what the graduation specialist does is she meets with them every 2 weeks to make sure that they are recovering the credits, that they're not slacking off, that they're not falling behind, because some of these kids need several credits that once they complete a course, they need to start with another one. Also, our counselors have been very instrumental in meeting with their 12th grade students who are currently at risk of not graduating. They review their transcripts, ensure the students have been scheduled in all of their classes that they need, and they will graduate with a CCMR indicator earlier in the year. My counselors already ran the rosters through Tableau, and they identified about 75 students, current seniors, that did not have an indicator. They went one by one through the transcripts to make sure that they get at least one of the indicator by the end of the year. Seniors and juniors who have fallen behind on credits have been given priority to attend West Academy and recover credits and graduate with their cohort, their 2019 cohort. And our social worker is also very instrumental in making parental contact or a parent link to inform of their children's requirement to attend tutorials. Sometimes kids don't tell their parents that they have to stay for tutoring, that they're required. So we send out a system to all the kids that require tutorials. You know, she kind of pulls out the students from the master list, and she sends out the call only to those students for the tutorials. Questions, comments? I don't know.
How are we addressing students who are tardy? Because when they're not in the classrooms, they're missing instructional time.
When the students that are tardy, I know that at the front of the school, we do have an assistant principal there with our attendance clerks and our truant officer, and they issue out the passes, but they also talk to the students, and they keep track of the students' number of tardies. If it's the same student that's been coming in tardy, after the third tardy, we make contact with the parent. We escort the student, we walk the student over to class to make sure that they don't get lost along the way from the front to their classroom, and we make sure that the teacher, if the teacher has already marked them absent, that they change it to a code of tardy. But we do have that station in the front to address, and all students come in through one area, through the main area of the school. Any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cano.
Thank you, Mr. Kano. Our next principal to present is Mr. Ricardo Estrada, principal at Juarez Lincoln High School.
Good evening. Board President, members of the board, Dr. Benavides. This is the plan to improve our letter grade at Juarez Lincoln. Two simple goals, 2 points that have to do with accountability and attendance. Now we'll relay why attendance is one of the biggest issues that was stated earlier. First of all, I'm very, very, very proud of the accomplishments of their school. They had to work 2 years really, really hard to get out of school improvement, record improvement. Because this was met by making sure that students met student achievement, student progress, and closing the gap. Juarez Lincoln was able to do this for 2 consecutive years, and of course get out of record improvement, and also in the process earn a distinction in ELA in reading by lots of hard work that was done in the campus. So I'm really, really proud, and we know the challenges, but we must continue.
We're also very, very proud of Juarez Lincoln earning an ELA and reading distinction. Great job.
Our letter grade for this past year was a C. It was a 72. I know it is 8 points, at least 8 points for letter B, but that is still a goal. That is still a goal that we're trying to meet. And before you have not to focus on all the numbers, but you have from Algebra 1 all the way down to, on the left column, to U.S. history. These are the percentages to meet. You have, for the approaches, meets and masters, the percentages, but also in the right column, you have the actual number of kids that must get the exam and the approaches, the meets, and the masters. Specifically, starting next week, when we first test next week, this is the fall numbers. These are projected numbers that we will be assessing next week. And also it gives you the percentages for approaches, meets, masters, along with the actual individual numbers of how many kids must meet that expectation. Looking forward, next semester, in a couple of months, we have their spring. This also gives us the number of the core subjects, along with the percentages for approaches, meets, and masters, and every single student that must meet this expectation. How are we going to do this? How we do this is addressing all the core areas. 0 period is embedded into our master schedule, folks. This is not by accident. This is an intervention period that we've been monitoring throughout the year. Additional to that, we have interventions that are scheduled, and it was also mentioned by my colleague, Mr. Cano, specifically categorized by student weaknesses. If you get a prescription of what student needs, then you can assist them, making sure he or she meets that. I can go to a doctor. What do you need to reach that, to get better? That's exactly, and I know this is good, because it tells you exactly what the kid needs, and they know how many questions, they know what standard SCs to meet that. Along with that, every Tuesday and Thursday, we have extended days for the students, and we are focusing on the retesters. Also for our STEM and NJL, and of course, the rest of the students, we also want to increase the masters and meets. That's one of the reasons we got a distinction in ELA. There was a good number of ELA, English 1 and English 2, meets and masters. So we must continue there. And of course, also making sure that the low performers that have, to make sure they achieve this year, increase the approaching rate. This is key. This is key to make sure we continue meeting standard at Juarez Lincoln. And also, this Saturday, we're doing our third Saturday tutorial, putting everything there, like I say, the kitchen sink. Another big priority for Juarez Lincoln is our priority target group. I don't know if you've heard about ELs and special ed. These kids, they have a lot of weight, and they're very important for all of us in the state of Texas, and of course in Juarez Lincoln and La Jolla. So by making sure that we have over 1,000 ELs in Juarez Lincoln, we are up to date with our linguistic interventions. We are monitoring the SIAP strategies, the sentence stems, and of course our special POPs. We have co-teaching, which is one of the models that's been working really well, and we can go back to our past benchmark. Every single core area and every single EL and special ed POP grew, some from 5 points up to 30 points in bio. This is special ed, it was huge. So that's very promising. I know it was a benchmark, but like somebody said, but that's very promising for us, and I take everything. We also we monitor these students well every 6 to 9 weeks. And one strategy that's really good in our playbook, we call it the leap forward. It's great. We even use it to train staff on Saturdays. The camps will continue, and the extended learning for the EL and the special ed POP. One more target, there's also CCMR, that's been discussed this evening. Through TSIs, it's through adjustment in the curriculum, we addressed the TSI for a couple of weeks in the areas of Algebra 2, Calculus, English 2, and English 3. This is purposeful because we need to make sure we hit this indicator, folks. We hit it hard. Our master schedule indicates that we increase almost double the sections in AP and pre-AP for this year. So that's also should be able to reflect. And our target group of students are enrolled and will take CTE state industry exams to address the CCMR. And our goal, of course, we know we want 100% of our graduates to earn at least one CCMR indicator, because that is huge. That was huge. And that's a great opportunity for all of us. Attendance. I said earlier, okay, why is attendance? One member says we have to make sure the kids are there. Every single, since August the 22nd, since we opened our doors in Juarez Lincoln, we've been number one in attendance, or has the highest rate of attendance every single week. That is key. The kid must be in the class, must be learning. And that's why this is huge. For the past years, 2 years, 3 years, there's a trend of going from 1 to 2 points. Our goal is 93.53. I know it's high, but we're heading that way, and we're gonna continue striving that way, because we know the kids need to be in school. And our attendance plan has a tiered system. We want to focus on, of course, in all of them, but we want all of them to be in tier 1, engaging in school climate, which is positive. If the kids are happy, the teachers are happy, your kids are going to be there and they're going to be learning. It has to do with culture, folks, a positive relationship with students, and that should be an impact on absences. Questions or comments? I was sticking to the 5 minutes.
I have a comment in regards to what you were saying about your distinction in ELA. For those of you in the attendance that don't know, that Juarez Lincoln has one of the highest ESL populations in the entire state of Texas. We have a lot of students there that don't speak English, but the fact that they got a distinction speaks volumes about the work that's being done there, so thank you. That's an amazing feat.
Any other questions?
Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Estrada.
Thank you, Mr. Estrada, and we wish you continued success. Next principal to present is Mrs. Bonnie Ayala, principal at Palmview High School.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Benavides, and audience members. My name is Ivana Ayala, principal at Palmview High School, and I'm going to be sharing with you our plan of action to improve our letter grade as a campus and to earn distinctions for the 2018-2019 school year. First of all, I do want to share with you some data that we have for our campus. I am very proud to say that we have shown continuous growth year after year. In 2016, we were at a 62% in student achievement. 2017, we were at 68%. Last year, we were at a 78.4%, earning us the C. And our goal for this school year is to be at a 90. This graph also shows you the number of tests that are going to be administered throughout the year, the number of students who need to take the tests, and what our goals are in approaches, meets, and masters for each subject area, and the total number of students who need to pass those exams in order to meet our goals. So how are we going to do it? We're focusing on 4 R's: rigor, relevance, relationships, and post-secondary readiness. In rigor, we have targeted instruction based on reporting categories and student expectations to achieve approaches, meets, and masters. This will help us in Domain 3 and in earning distinctions. For English 1 and 2, Biology, Algebra 1, U.S. History, we have EOC camps. We also have intervention classes for all retesters. We have flexible scheduling available to all students to accommodate an intervention class if the class does not fit into their schedule. We do flexible scheduling where on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they will attend this intervention class, and then on Tuesday, Thursday, they attend their regularly scheduled class. We also have intervention classes that are performance group to minimize prescriptive teaching. We have an extended first period with a focus on reading. Every day, all students are given an extra 50 minutes of class to read so they can take their AR tests, and this helps with reading and building fluency. We also have consultants and department coordinators here at the district level that come and work with our students through EOC camps. That helps also with the targeted instruction. We do progress monitoring for all 9th grade students who read below a 2.9. Those are monitored every 6 weeks. We have continued implementation of PSYOP strategies through our design lab trainings, utilizing our campus ESL strategists through our PLCs on Mondays. We have used the implementation of Seesaw and Flipgrid to help build fluency for all students with not just EOC, but TELPAS as well. And we plan to increase our 4-year graduation rate with our special populations. For relevance, we have communication of expectations to all stakeholders. We share the data with administrators, campus leaders, and with our teachers, and we do this by goal setting by department. At the beginning of the year, everyone set their goals on what it is that they plan to do and how it is that they plan to achieve those goals. We have common planning time for all core teachers in our designated design lab, where teachers have time to meet and plan engaging lessons for all students. Our in-service days focus on best practices. Department administrators are required to follow up with assigned classroom walkthroughs. If we see a teacher that is struggling, we make sure to meet with them to give them whatever support is needed to make sure that they are successful in the classroom. We work in coordination with East Academy to create strategic portfolio packets for our students if they are struggling in one area or another or falling behind on credits. We work closely with our East Academy staff to make sure that the students get what it is that they need to be successful and graduate. And we also have data sharing and goal setting by the students as well. Each student knows what it is, where it is that they stand, and what it is that they need to get in order to pass and be successful. For relationships, as administrators, we offer continued support for all teachers and staff. As an administrative team, we tell our teachers that we are here to remove all barriers. If the teachers need something, we are here to give it to them, so that way there are no excuses and they're able to meet all of their goals. We have professional learning communities structured scheduling for teachers to learn from teachers. So again, if we see a teacher that is struggling, we offer time for those teachers to go and visit other teachers so they can see the best practices that are in place. With our Project Rise grant initiative, we also have coaching and mentoring for master and mentor teachers, and this is offered to all of the staff. We have a good life activity scheduled throughout the year for our students. Palmview High School is proud to have a parent roundtable, and I meet with them on a quarterly basis. And we have developed community partnerships where we have guest speakers who come in and speak to students, and they focus on career pathways. We also focus on post-secondary readiness. We have a targeted plan for college, career, and military readiness, our CCMR. We have the Tableau system in place where we monitor completion by cohort. We are able to identify students who have not met a CCMR indicator, and counselors work closely with these students to make sure that they are scheduled in the appropriate class to make sure that they meet at least one indicator before graduation. We do have the TSI lab available for all students on a daily basis. Right now at Palmview High School, we offer TSI testing free of charge to all seniors. We do have TSI tutorials available on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school for any student who needs assistance with preparing for the exam. We have also implemented TSI and ACT curriculum. We have that embedded in the upper level courses. So for our junior and senior level classes, it is embedded into the curriculum. For example, English 3 and algebra and so on and so forth. We have ACT testing available to all juniors and seniors. All juniors test in the spring, and any senior who did not test their junior year is tested in the fall. We have increased the availability of AP courses on our master schedule for all students at Palmview High School. And as a result, we are now offering AP camps and are doing mock testing on Saturdays for those exams to help prepare the students for the tests. We are encouraging students to earn CTE certifications. We are focusing on the industry certifications. Our counselors and our graduation specialists work very closely with all of our seniors to make sure that they are not only on track to graduate, but also that they are graduating TSI complete and also meeting a CCMR indicator. And on a weekly basis, we have a dropout prevention meeting where we look at our cohort of students. Are they on track to graduate? Are they not? And if they are not on track to graduate, what is it that we need to do to make sure to help them? On behalf of all the students and staff at Palmview High School, I'd like to thank our board for their continued support. Does anybody have any questions or any comments?
How long is your Saturdays?
I'm sorry?
How long do the students attend on Saturdays? Is it a half day? Is it
It's a
full-
half day. It's until noon.
And how
Yes.
does that look, like your design? Like, one, are the kids coming in? What are y'all doing different on Saturday than during the week?
We do offer the EOC tutorials on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school. At this time, Saturdays are only for mock testing for the AP exams, so students can get used to the time allotted for the AP exams only.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ayala.
Thank you.
Thank you, and continue the good work. Thank you, Mrs. Ayala.
Before we move on, we just want to go ahead and address the three schools that presented. We firmly believe that you all are going to achieve your overall letter grade distinctions that you all have desired. And if there's anything that we can do in order to help facilitate that, we that's what we're here for. And again, we just wish you all the best luck in the world with these upcoming tests. Thank you. Moving on to item number 7, consent agenda. Can I entertain a motion?
Also move.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to tab C under business and finance. Item number 2, declare obsolete, damaged, scrap property and surplus property and authorize the sale of surplus property items via public auction. Can I entertain a motion?
Also move.
A motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to tab D under instruction and student services. Item number 4, approval of 2018-2019 district campus improvement plans, including targeted improvement plan.
So move.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Cantu, a second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. It is now 6:44. We are going to move into executive session at this time pursuant Government Codes 551074, 551071, and 551072. It is 7:03 and we're out of executive session.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion under letter H, items 1, 2, 3, is discussed in executive session.
I have a motion. Can I entertain a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Do we have any public comments at this time?
No.
At this time, we have no public comments, so I need a motion for adjournment.
Also move for adjournment.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned at 7:03. Thank you for being in attendance.